Hello and welcome back to this, my new video. So, do you think you're drinking too much? Maybe you're automatically reaching for a glass at the end of a tough day. If this is sounding familiar, then this video is for you. As someone who has walked the path of addiction and alcoholism, it's a subject that I'm passionate about and one that has played a huge part in my life. I've experienced firsthand the devastation alcoholism causes, so I wanted to share with you some of the warning signs to look for so that you can catch this before it takes you. As trust me, it's sneaky, and once you're over the tipping point, the ground starts to fall away really quickly. Stick with me until the end as I'll be running through a simple checklist so you can diagnose yourself. Have you ever found yourself thinking, maybe I'm drinking too much and perhaps I should cut down? The chances are, if you're even asking yourself these type of questions, then the answer is probably yes. I can recall my very first time drinking. I was underage and with the same issues as most teenage boys. Was I popular enough? Was I good enough? How would I get the confidence to talk to girls? Just normal teenage angsts. But in summary, I felt different and I felt less than. I took a drink and as if by magic I felt confident, relaxed and more grown up. But the problem was I wasn't drinking for the taste. Let's face it, Thunderbird and super strong lager isn't being drunk for the taste. I was drinking for the effect. Think about your own first experiences drinking. Most people's first experience isn't an enjoyable one. Was yours? But for me, the floodgate had been opened, and that was it. My brain hardwired this as the solution to all my problems. I spent the next 20 years drinking and using, recreationally at first, and I was young. I liked to party, so that was what I had to do, but lack of money kept a lid on it for a while. I was still able to function, albeit nowhere near my best, and I talked my way into jobs where I found that drinking just seemed a normal part of everyday life. Time passed, and while friends were settling down, my drinking was slowly getting heavier and heavier. Good day at work, have a few drinks to celebrate. Bad day, drink more to forget. Nervous and about an event, drink to calm down. You get the picture, right? Soon enough, it became any day of the week ending in a Y was a good enough reason, and any time of the day, because it was sundown somewhere, right? My world started shrinking and I started to lose friends, partners, jobs. I became more and more dependent and I couldn't do anything with some sort of drink or drug stimulation. Take it from me, it's a miserable existence, and once it has its claws in you, it's hard to get out. And gets progressively worse, never better. I could go on and on with drinking stories, but I won't, as drinking stories are a bit like drinking for me. Once I start, I can't stop. So I asked you earlier, do you think you're drinking too much? Here are some of the questions you can ask yourself honestly to see if it's a problem for you. 1. Have you decided to stop drinking? Say sober January and it only lasted a few days. 2. Do you wish people would mind their own business about you having a drink? 3. Have you ever switched from one type of drink to another in the hope this would stop you from getting drunk? 4. Have you ever had a drink in the morning? 5. Has drinking caused you problems at work or missed days? 6. Do you envy people who can drink without getting into trouble? 7. Has drinking caused you problems at home? 8. Do you ever try and sneak extra drinks when you're out at parties because you don't feel you're getting enough? 9. Do you have blackouts? 10. Do you ever tell yourself you'll stop drinking but then get drunk when you don't mean to? Back in the bad old days, I would have got a full house for those. But it's not about me. Be honest with yourself. Are you finding yourself thinking, I do that and that? Hopefully you're not that far down the scale. If you're mainly no's, then please take this in the spirit it was meant. It's an illustration of where this can easily take you if you don't catch it in time. If you're getting more than 3 yeses, then it's already starting to cost you more than the price alone. Maybe, just maybe, it's worth taking a closer look at. And if you feel like you had mostly yeses, don't worry, you're not alone. But you are starting to show a number of the worrying warning signs. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you have to stop. That is your call. But for me, abstinence was the only way. It took almost everything from me, and I would hate for that to happen to you too. All I'm asking is you think about why you're actually having that drink. Is it a habit, or is it to change how you're feeling? If so, then maybe you don't actually need it. Ultimately, wherever you are on this scale, it's not the end of the world. If alcohol is controlling you and your life is becoming a mess as a result of it, then you're in the problem. But being in the problem means you're realising it's a problem, and it's the first step for you starting your journey away from it. There's loads of help out there. You just need to be prepared to ask and look for it. I made it my mission to help those in a similar position as I was. I'm passionate about helping dissatisfied employees find better ways of living so they don't have to hit rock bottom. Trust me, addiction is giving up everything for one thing. Recovery is giving up one thing for everything. Without drink, my life has opened up. I'm feeling better than ever. I sleep better, more alert, more creative, more focused, more effective each and every day. Once I cut out the biscuits and cake, which are mandatory at the start, I lost a significant amount of weight because I wasn't consuming all those hollow, wasted calories. Let all this sink in and have a think for yourself about your relationship with alcohol and drugs. Let me be clear, there's no video is going to solve this issue for you. That's not my point here. My point is to shine a light on the problem to get it out in the open. Ultimately, the thinking that got you into this situation is not the thinking that needs to get you out of the problem either. To act differently, you first need to think differently, as all actions stem from thought. By the time I had to do something about my drinking, my thinking had become so skewed, all my actions were likewise, and I needed a complete mental rewire. Everything I thought was wrong, and in fact, everything the opposite was true for. Let me give you some examples. Nobody else feels like this. Wrong. There are hundreds, thousands, even millions of us out there who feel the same and have been in the same place you are. Our stories might be a little different, but the thinking will be so similar it will amaze you. I'm a bad person. Wrong. You're not bad. You're ill. You're sick. Ignore it and it will get better. Wrong again. Trust me, there's only one direction of travel with alcoholism. I need to tackle this alone. Wrong. Alone will keep you in your head and in your illness. Together we're strong. Anyone in recovery will be more than happy to help you find a way, find help if you're serious about wanting to do something about it. Asking for help makes me weak. Wrong again. Asking for help makes you strong. You get the idea, and this list could go on and on. So if you're thinking about it, then the chances are the opposite is quite probably true. I said earlier, you can't solve alcoholism in a video. You will need help and you will need to take action. But if alcohol is a problem in your life, Google recovery in your area. You'll find there's a community out there with people of like-minded feelings and thoughts who are willing to welcome you in. I've been to meetings all around the world, and Zoom has opened up even more options. Trust me, this is the glue that will bind you together with your fellows. You need to be open. You need to listen. You need to be willing to try and be honest about what's going on. and then just see if it works. You know, generally people don't go in search of recovery unless alcohol is a problem in their life. Usually things have got bad. You don't go in because you're having too much fun. And we would always joke, you know, try it for 3 months. If you don't like it, we can refund you all that pain and misery you left behind. I always thought, how would I live a life without drink? But in the end, there was no fun involved in drinking. The reality is addiction is giving up everything for the addiction. You know, I really hope this has helped. If in some way this has resonated with you, then please subscribe to my channel and give this video a like and a comment, as it will really help for you to feel more connected, and it will help me with the algorithm and hopefully enable more people to see this. If you know someone who may need to hear this, then please send them the link. If you're struggling and want to connect, then reach out and I will be happy to help to the best of my ability. With that said, I'll say goodbye. Thank you for joining me. I wish you peace, love and serenity.